It was also one of the assets of the show that you did see these 4 other wonderful prizes and the bin. So that there appeared to be huge prizes which were being given away or being lost.
But it was a con. You have to admit it was a con, in that we showed £10,000 worth of prizes. Everybody said, look what they're giving away, look at those prizes.
Take a look at this.
Big music, and on they come with the girls sitting there, geisha girls or whatever they were.
You'd have a huge Japanese sauna with somebody dressed up inside, you know?
But you haven't won that.
You haven't won that.
And so we'll send that away. It's like...
A superb microwave oven. There's also a set of copper pans there, a set of French steel kitchen knives, and an automatic coffee machine, and a full range of microwave cookware. Just look at that. Fabulous prize. I'm afraid, again, Caroline, thank you. It has to go. It's been rejected. Thank you very much.
Believe me, people enjoyed watching other people lose stuff as much as they did win stuff.
Look at these 2 fabulous mink coats worth a lot of money. You haven't won those, no?
Ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1, the show for fabulous prize. It's a real knockout prize, this, but I'm afraid you have turned it down, so thank you, Fiona. It has to go, Bob and Ed.
We had fairly constricted budgets. There were a lot of limits then.
And so the car could only be won 4 times throughout the series.
Yeah!
And it was one of the first 4 shows. And we're in terrible problems. We had to make the questions a lot harder.
So I'm afraid, folks, all you do get is brand new dustbin, and here it is.
We were almost in tears when they won the bin. We used to think, oh my gosh, not the bin. Although he was very cute, I must say.
And we came to the elimination question, which was a progressive thing and always finished up with something that was so obvious, almost as obvious as the contestant's own name.
This is a composer, German by birth, English by adoption. Best known for an oratorio published in 1741. It was called Messiah. You're bound to know is Handel.
But it's always difficult when you've got cameras. You know, you've got the big eye looking at you, and you can make mistakes.
Who is it?
God, I used to have to sit still.
Well, you were nearly there.
Final Porter music.
Well, so who's the composer?
Chopin.
Yes, so I can offer it to you. It certainly wasn't who you said it was.
No.
Any idea? Beethoven? No, it wasn't Beethoven.
Now, what people don't realise is that actually was the second question that we'd asked these 2 couples. The previous one was possibly even easier, bearing in mind the name of the show was Easter Parade. That one actually finished up, it's an island, it's in the Pacific, etc., etc., etc. And the last piece of information for them was, well, the name of the island is the theme of tonight's show. Nothing. So then Ted started on the second question.
We rehearsed. Did we rehearse?
Yes, we did. I didn't feel like we did.
I think we did.
In Church Hall.
That's right, in Hammersmith, wasn't it, I think?
No, in Leeds.
Oh, in Leeds, that's right. God, yeah.
You can't even remember anything anymore.
I remember the production day. We rehearsed in the studio on the Tuesday, and then on the Wednesday it was a tech run with makeup and costumes and everything, and then have a break and then record the entire show from 5 till 8. And that sounds like ample time, but 3 hours to do a show where anything could happen on the show. You didn't know.
Did.
And usually did, didn't it, Debbie? I mean, you know, there are clips where a camera's moving across and goes briefly out of focus, which you wouldn't allow in this day and age. But, I mean, there was no time to retake things like that. You just had to get on with it.
So it wasn't faked in any way. It was very much a case of getting on and doing the whole show live, more or less. When they used to bring the cars into the studio, we nearly used to die from asphyxiation with all of those fumes. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. God.
Didn't they used to bring 2 or 3 cars in? No, there was one show. There was one
five,
show.
Do you remember?
Look at all this. I can't believe it. It looks like Lex's garage on a bad day.
And we were sitting in our little box and we were going, and I don't know how the audience managed to survive. We were there for 3 hours with those cars.
yes. There were rows and rows of old ladies in the audience going. And there was Ted at the front trying to be all bright and cheery.
If anyone from Yorkshire Television is watching this, if people died during those, after coming out of those shows, we'll probably have a lot of lawsuits now.
Oh, don't say that.
Las Vegas, the devil gave us to you. Shook it! Have we shook it right? First of all, gentlemen, my Lord Mayor, Lady Mayoress. My gracious Lord Mayor, good gracious Lady Mayoress.
I saw Farmer Giles, he was getting his hay in. I told him that 3 of his hens had stopped laying. He says, how'd you know that? I says, 'cause I'm smart. I just run 'em over with my horse and cart.
I can't remember loads of very important sportsmen like Henry Cooper.
The minute you walked in the joint, to tell you were a man of distinction.
We met the most incredible people that just would sort of turn up for one show and come on and be in a ridiculous sketch and wear a dress.
Spend a little time with me. Yeah. Hey!
It was lovely there because I met all my idols. Oh, I met Diana Dawes. Oh, she was lovely.
Hello there!
She was lovely. I just sat there in makeup. She was in the next seat to me being made up, and I was just watching. I had a wonderful made-up right ear because I wouldn't turn my head round. All the makeup lady could do was make my ear up. I was just watching Diana all the time.
On Mother Kelly's doorstep, I'm wondering now.
I wish I could see my sister Kate shaking like a jelly on a plate.
I'm free.
Ted was just sensational. I mean, everybody says it, and it all sounds corny, but it's absolutely true. He was a wonderful professional.
He's such a nice guy. He is such a nice guy, and you know, I mean, I think he made that. I think he made it for all those years to run it. Yeah, ace guy, really nice guy.
Ted was marvellous to work with all the way through. I mean, I love working with the man.
I'm really softy, Ted. Oh, Ted's wonderful.
Rehearsed like a dream.
Very good, very professional, and put us at ease right the way from the start, and came to see us afterwards as well.
And Ted was great.
Do you want the one thing we got wrong? The one thing I think we did get wrong on 3-2-1 was that we never actually found the way to show people what Ted could do. I mean, Ted was brilliant at what he did in the show, but it was very confining for him. I mean, he was a first-class gagsman, and there just wasn't the possibility in the show. He had a couple of minutes at the top where he couldn't display his normal range of topical jokes because the show wasn't going out for another couple of months. So that's the one thing we couldn't get right, but we did try.
And here's a gentleman who hardly ever leaves his own show, so tonight we're glad that he's making one of those special appearances. Savour this moment. I've got the hat and the polka dot tie. I got the cane and the gleam in my eye. I've got the time. Now all I need's the baby. I've got the right inclination for love. I've got the light from the moon up above. I got the place. Now all I need's the baby.
Many girls have held my arm and strolled down Lover's Lane, but there is only one whose charm can lead me there again.
I've got the choir. They're all rehearsing to sing. I've even been out to purchase the ring. I made a deal for a bungalow for two. We'll have it painted green and blue. Boo-hoo, but it's incomplete till someone awfully sweet says I do. So all I need
baby.